One missile, one decision, and the entire world changes forever. Tonight, we walk you through exactly what happens the moment Iran pulls that trigger on a United States Navy vessel, second by second, decision by decision, and what comes after may shock you. Right now, as you watch this, American warships are positioned in and around the Strait of Hormuz. The USS carrying dozens of F-18 fighter jets, hundreds of missiles, and thousands of American sailors is sitting just miles from Iranian shores. Iran has publicly threatened to sink any vessel that defies their blockade. So we have to ask the question nobody in Washington wants to answer out loud. What actually happens if they do it? Let's say it happens, 6 a.m., Persian Gulf. An Iranian anti-ship missile, likely a Noor or College Fars, is fired toward a U.S. destroyer. In the first 10 seconds, the ship's Phalanx close-in weapon system automatically detects the incoming threat. It fires 4,500 rounds per minute trying to intercept it. But here's what they don't tell you. These systems are not 100% effective. If that missile gets through, we are now in a completely different world. Within 60 seconds, the strike group commander is on a secure line to U.S. Central Command in Tampa, Florida. Within 3 minutes, the Pentagon is notified. Within 7 minutes, the President of the United States is informed. 7 minutes. That's all the time that stands between a patrol incident and a potential world war. Now here is where it gets complicated, and here is where the fate of millions of people hangs on decisions made in minutes. President Trump faces 3 options, and every single one of them carries catastrophic risk. Strike only the launch site, precise, limited, sends a message. But here's the problem. Iran has been waiting for this. They have prepared underground bunkers, dispersed their military assets, and positioned civilian infrastructure around their weapon systems. A surgical strike could kill civilians, and Iran knows that. They're counting on it. Destroy Iran's naval capability entirely, ports, ships, missile batteries, all of it. This is the option that ends Iran's military threat permanently. But it almost certainly pulls us into a full regional war, with Hezbollah activating in Lebanon, Houthi missiles raining on Saudi Arabia, and oil prices hitting $200 a barrel overnight. The most dangerous option of all. Because the moment America absorbs an attack without responding, every adversary on earth takes notes. China looks at Taiwan, Russia looks at Europe, North Korea looks at Seoul. Doing nothing is not peace. It is an invitation. There is no good option. There is only the least catastrophic one. But let's talk about something that hits even closer to home. Your wallet. The Strait of Hormuz carries 20% of the world's oil supply, every single day. The moment a U.S. ship is hit, oil markets don't wait for a response. They panic instantly. We're talking about crude oil prices potentially doubling within 24 hours. That means gas at your local station could hit $7, $8, possibly more per gallon. And it doesn't stop there. Everything that gets shipped, food, medicine, electronics, clothing, all of it gets more expensive immediately. This isn't just a foreign policy story. This is a your grocery bill story, a your gas pump story, a your retirement account story. So why would Iran risk all of this? Here's what the experts won't say plainly on television, but we will. Iran's leadership does not think the way Washington thinks. Their military doctrine, rooted in what they call resistance theology, actually welcomes escalation. They believe that chaos brings their prophesied imam. That conflict is not a failure of strategy. It is the strategy. And that is what makes this moment so extraordinarily dangerous. We are not negotiating with a rational actor who fears consequences. We are negotiating with a regime that views martyrdom as victory. President Trump understands this, which is exactly why he has kept military assets in the region, not as a threat, but as a guarantee. Anchor. General, walk us through this. If that order comes, how ready are we? General, I'll tell you this. Our Navy has war-gamed this scenario hundreds of times. The response plan exists. The targets are identified. The chain of command is clear. What people need to understand is that Iran firing on a U.S. vessel is not the beginning of a conflict. It is the end of Iran's military as a functioning force. Anchor. And the risk of it spreading regionally? General, that's the real concern. Iran alone, manageable. Iran plus Hezbollah plus Houthis plus potential Chinese opportunism in Taiwan, that's a completely different conversation. The president is right to keep every option on the table, and he's right to make sure Iran knows what's on that table. But here's the thing that is not being covered, the scenario that keeps Pentagon officials up at night. What if Iran doesn't fire a missile? What if instead they use an underwater drone, undetected, no warning, no radar signature? Iran has been developing autonomous underwater vehicles for years, capable of attaching explosives to a hull without a single crew member at risk. No missile launch to detect, no radar signature to track, no warning. Just an explosion and then silence. And in that silence, the entire world holds its breath and asks, was it Iran? And if we can't prove it, what do we do then? Here is what we know tonight. American sailors are in the Persian Gulf right now, young men and women, sons and daughters, doing their job so you can do yours. Iran is testing every boundary, probing every weakness, watching every response. And the decisions made in the next days and weeks will echo for decades. President Trump has said it clearly. We will get this done one way or the other. The question is not whether America is ready. The question is whether Iran truly understands what ready looks like. Stay with Fox News for continuing coverage. We will not look away.